What's up, everybody? Paul Carl here. Today, we're going to be talking about eBay's new playbook, the Evo Playbook. This is how they're trying to portray their brand now. This is important because eBay's doing marketing on our behalf, and it's our job to kind of fulfill their marketing message. We're the sellers. We have a role to play in this. And it's like if you see a Taco Bell commercial and you go into a Taco Bell, you expect Taco Bell things to be happening, right? And you see and feel and experience that. So even though every Taco Bell is actually different than each other one, they're all franchised, I think, they're all consistent because of the brand. So even though we're all different sellers on eBay, we want a cohesive eBay experience to occur for those customers. So the thing that I'm going to talk about today is what I took away from looking at eBay's playbook on what Evo is and their new slogan, things people love. Love is very consistent in their messaging. Love and passion and authenticity. You can see here on the quote, I'm not going to read it to you, but this is all stuff that they want people to portray. And they're doing it heavily through images and other visual elements, because that's all we have as e-commerce. They can't, walk in and smell the Home Depot smell in our eBay store, So we have to use images to our best ability to craft a narrative and inspire the emotions, the love and the passion that eBay's really pushing for. The storytelling, that's another thing. I bolded all these myself. Storytelling, community, authentic and aspirational. We can make products be so much better than they actually are by portraying them in this correct way. Because ultimately at the end of the day, it's like social media, right? You're always the best highlights of your life is on the social media, but the same thing with products. The best highlights of the product is always in the advertising, in the listing online. So like if I had a Michael Jordan jersey like that, my room isn't going to look that nice. I mean, you see my room. That is not going to look as good on my wall as it does on that wall, but that's the aspirational piece. Here I just chopped out some of the imagery that they're using to try to show how these collectibles fit in. The humanizing part of this quote really stands out to me, because when you compare it to like Amazon's a very sterile, kind of dehumanized marketplace, whereas on eBay you can tell that there's a lot of real people here, trying to do their best. You see the shoes at the bottom of the photo when they're taking a picture on the floor. Maybe somebody's hand is holding the object. In a lot of ways, eBay is a lot more human and alive than Amazon is, and that's something that we can lean into. Some more pictures I took from their marketing. And this is Fanatics. I wanted to say, all right, well, how is Fanatics doing? Are they thinking about it in the same way as eBay? And they're really not. I mean, this site is garbage. No offense, Fanatics. But this is not, like, when you look at eBay's imagery for how they're selling stuff, like, look at that magic card. I don't know how much that Force of Will is worth, but it looks so much better. That's a nicer picture to look at than like what Fanatics is doing here. Like, it's just a gradient. It's just tired. There's no emotion. These are luxury high-end cards that they're trying to sell, and you don't have that luxury high-end feel when you're looking at the site. And here's some zoomed in pictures of the cards. Just as like some inspiration, some ideas. Like, is this really the best that we can do? And I like this one. This one, maybe if this was like a wood grain background, like they were laying on somebody's table. I don't know. This is just, ugh. And then here's the sales page. I mean, I don't even know. This might be the PSA scan maybe, but if you at least putting a black background, make this box black. Black is a very high-end luxury color, and they're not using it as well as they could. Anyways, enough poo-pooing on Fanatics. When I was looking at the playbook, these are the photo characteristics that eBay is trying to portray in their advertising. They want to reflect our world, show genuine nature, make it vivid, and create a narrative. And these are great. So reflect our world, that kind of ties into the authenticity. Same thing with the genuine nature. You really want to show the product as it is. You want to highlight the flaws. You want to make sure people can see exactly what they're getting. That's reflecting the real world. And that's where you would have maybe like a masked image, which is what we have as card sellers, our scans on maybe a white background or black background or whatever. Those are masked images. And then showing the genuine nature. This is kind of where like that community and humanism and authenticity comes into, is like, all right, maybe you have a picture of the card on a stand, like a card stand. You took an actual photograph of it. That's a little bit more genuine than the masked image. And I'm not saying that we as card sellers need to get the cameras out and put the Fujitsus away. It's just something to think about, because this can actually be automated. You can take the scan and plop it right on like a and make it look like it's in a mag case. You can do a lot of stuff to it. There's some interesting ideas that this has been inspiring. Make it vivid. You want it to be good pictures. You want it to stand out against everything else in there. You want people to scroll through your eBay store kind of like it's Instagram, where everything's like made to be as clickable as possible. And then ultimately this create a narrative. That's something that I've been thinking about a lot with the cards. Like, how do you tell the story? And what story do you tell? Right now I'm thinking you tell the story of how the experience is when you shop with me as a seller. So I'm thinking, all right, can I show the narrative of how carefully the cards are packaged, the attention to detail? Can I show the quality of the packaging that I use? Is that something that goes in there? Maybe the daily post office trips. Like, how can I tell people visually this is how your card is going to be handled and delivered to you so that you're happy? And if it's a higher end card, maybe it's something where you show how the piece fits into a collection, like with that Jordan jersey. Like, I have a card I'm asking like $1,800 for right now. Maybe I show that like on a display stand in a nice room. Lots of ideas come from that. And here's some more examples, more information from eBay. I've just kind of clipped these screenshots just as like inspiration to really think about what they're trying to do and get ideas for how it fits in. Because look, you got this guy here. I'm not sure if he's unboxing or packaging this item that he purchased, but I mean, that shows the experience. Like, this is a nice mailer. Actually, I think he's unboxing it now that I see that it's torn. But that tells you that the person who sold them this record cares about him. He bought the fancy, expensive record shipper thing instead of cutting up a Fruit Loops box and putting them next to each other and sticking it in a bubble mailer, you know? This is somebody who cares, who sold him this, and this tells that story. And I don't even know what's going on with this picture. But here, like, if you're selling this purse, this puts it in the context of how it would be used. You know, you got your jewelry and your makeup, your sunglasses. It makes the purse more real to the person viewing it, and they can start to see how it's used and think about how it fits in their life, or like, oh, I would put my sunglasses in there. You know, it sounds goofy, but these are like real psychological things that happen when we view things. Natural lighting. This was something that they stressed, and I do like the natural lighting. Lighting in my upstairs dungeon here is pretty bad, as you can probably see from my face. So I'm starting to think a lot more about, all right, what else can I do? How can I emulate this? How can I use these ideas with sports cards to further stand out from the other sellers? They have some more rules here on like the lighting stuff. Different types of photos, lifestyle, context, studio. They don't have masked here. I don't know if masked falls under studio or not, but that's something to think about. Like, here we go. There's the lifestyle, the studio, and then the masked, of course. Some more ideas. And then here's some of eBay's images. Like, look at how these compare for what eBay's doing. Because look, this is for comic books. You got, you know, a slabbed up magazine, a slab card. What is that? You got a little Luca here. Some sealed wax. Like, this, the context of this is so much better than, let's go back to Fanatics. Like, this, really? This is how you're going to show your card? Compared to something like this. And here's another seller. Look at how nice and neat their storage display is. That's probably staged for the photo, obviously, but it looks good. It looks authentic. Like, it is telling a narrative about their store and what they're doing here. All right, yeah. So here's some of the ideas I had as I was looking through it the other day. These are eBay colors. You might have noticed. It might look a little familiar. They have a whole color guideline of how to use text and fit it into the brand and how to use the icons. And I was thinking, all right, well, maybe one of the things that can be done to tell a narrative in the images is in every listing, maybe have another image that shows me as a seller, highlights some of my favorite feedback that I've received, puts the little 100% with the little icons and do all that kind of stuff. That would be something interesting. Also demonstrating the packaging process. I mentioned this before, where like maybe I show how I put the cards in the ESE, like so they can see exactly how it is. Like, I fold the tape, the painter's tape, I fold the end so you have a little tab to peel it off easily. Like, those little details, that's putting your customer first, and it would be nice to be able to communicate that before they make the purchase so that maybe they're more likely to do it. And this one, the create sales banners using eBay style guide, like the playbook.ebay.com, that's where you go see all the stuff. I'll pull it up in a minute. But instead of just taking a random photo and using it as my store's sale image for that banner in the store, why not emulate eBay's style guide, create that consistent feel. You know, I got a lot of blue and orange in my logo. Maybe I use eBay's blue and orange so that it's still me a little bit, but it's also still eBay, and use that to create a nice banner for my sales. And then adding a drop down shadow for the masked images. So that's like your standard scan. Maybe you add a little drop shadow, make it stand out a little bit nicer, make it look like it's coming out at you. I'm going to be playing with that. There's a lot of ideas here that I'm going to be playing with. Here's how the icons are supposed to be used. Just some more inspiration. This is how this is their guideline for showing these little pills to tell whether something's on sale or not. I like that they show it like this because it's always going to be that white, or it might be like the dark mode. It might be reversed. I don't know though for sure. But if that little 25% off is always going to be in that bottom left corner, is always going to be white, then maybe a white background isn't so good. Maybe having a darker background so that white really stands out and says 25% off right in your face, maybe that gets you more attention for your sales, gets your click-through rate up. These are all things that are swirling through the head. I wanted to get them out, see what you guys think too. Here's some more. I don't even know why I saved this, but this is how they're using text, how they compile their photos. Yeah, the complementary versus clashing colors, that's a good call. Yeah, and here's what I'm talking about. This is one of their banners for their ads for different categories. Why not make our store banners for the categories look like this? And that's the end of the slideshow. All right, so here's the actual site. This is where they have all this information. You can scroll through and do this and that. I don't know about the animal print photo, but they have all this information here. This is where I got these screenshots and these images and these ideas, and they have their design system. Let's look at the components. I think we can get the color here. They have a color picker somewhere. Maybe it's the foundations. Yeah. So here's their color pairing tool. So this is where you can get, you know, the exact colors that you're supposed to use if you were creating ads. This is guidelines for them both internally and for their agency partners. But I think we as sellers can get a lot of value from this too. So maybe with my orange, this orange is pretty close to my orange. I could make a nice banner for my sales using this orange, or maybe even this blue. I think I like the blue a little better. But yeah, this is just showing like how we can use this in our stores. My store doesn't seem as nice anymore. I want to have this more eBay style. And yeah, I'm cheating on cards. Don't tell anyone. I got some random stuff. I'm helping out a friend. I don't have a coupon deal running right now. That's my other problem. So yeah, I need to get a coupon deal up. I need to put that banner in there. I want to change these icons and make them fit in with the eBay aesthetic. Use those eBay colors. There's so many ideas here just from a branding and marketing perspective that I think will really help elevate us all as sellers if we take these into consideration with how we present our products in our stores, because this all ties into, I mean, it's all like woo-woo, I guess, marketing gibberish, but at the same time, thinking about these things directly drives your click-through rate. That's key. Right now, my impressions, killing it. Conversion rate, killing it. My click-through rate, not so great. And that's why I've been testing like the different backgrounds, the blue versus the different layouts of the cars, all these things I'm testing because I'm trying to find what's going to get me the highest click-through rate. Because if I double my click-through rate, my sales should roughly double as a result of that. And doubling the click-through rate when it's bad is a lot easier than doubling a conversion rate when it's really good. So if you look at it like 3 levers, conversion rate and impressions, those levers are like, they're super heavy. I can't pull them. They're so heavy because they're already there. But my click-through rate lever is like a little wiggly. It's like not on right. If I could just make it move a little bit, it's a lot easier, a lot less effort and time to improve that than it is to improve the other stuff. This is the stuff that I've been thinking about, and it comes from Bert here. He's a British dude. He's got a really cool store, but he has some awesome videos on like all kinds of stuff for eBay. He was an insider, and this guy is one of the first people I've encountered on YouTube in the last few years who has been sharing things that I'm learning from, because I feel like a lot of YouTube is so much of the same old, just rehashed in different ways. Bert here is bringing out real good, deep ideas from an insider too on top of it. And when he did this video on the playbook, man, I didn't even know that playbook.ebay.com was a thing, let alone that it was being redone. So I was super pumped to find this. It got real hype. And I think that if you haven't seen this guy's channel, look at this stuff. I've watched everything, and I'm like going through reading a lot of these again, or watching a lot of them again. Yeah, he's a small channel. It's too relative. Oh no, he's up to 2,000 now. He went up real quick. I think he only had like 400 subscribers when I initially subscribed to him. But man, half of all these views are probably me at this point. I'll put a link to this in the description. But yeah, let me know what you think. Go check out playbook.ebay.com. Let me know what you think. What do you think you can use that information for to make your sales go up? That's what I'm thinking about, and that's what I want to talk about. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.